Okay, all set.
All set?
Oh, you don't have to start right away, I don't think. I'm not sure if Suzanne is available or ready yet.
So that's not
Huh?
Brad won't be.
No,
No.
he's on holidays.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
why
that-
we needed Bob here.
Yeah, that's why. I didn't realize that.
Hello, Ed. I'm here.
Is the Sittler coming, do you know?
I'm sorry? Are you wondering if the applicant's coming?
Yes, yeah, Matt, that's what I'm asking.
No, I don't. Well, it seemed unlikely. His wife is expecting a baby, actually.
Oh,
Oh,
He thought it might be difficult for him to come.
I don't think we want to see that picture from the hospital.
okay, we have everyone on board
I
then.
think we can probably go.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Committee of Adjustment meeting for June 30th, 2022. Welcome those here and the people that are with us remotely. We have Susanna from the Planning Department.
Good evening.
Just you, there's no one else from the Planning Department, Susanna?
That's right, just me tonight.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. First of all, I'll read the land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional land of the Anishinaabe people. We wish to recognize the long history of Indigenous people in Canada and show them our respect to them today. We recognize their stewardship of the land. May we all live with respect on this land and live in peace and friendship. Okay, moving on. Could we have a motion to approve the agenda from the last meeting? Moved by Bill,
I'll second the motion.
second by Robert. Thank you. Any discussion on those minutes? Or on the agenda, rather? Okay. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof this evening? Hearing none. Could we have a motion to adopt the minutes as circulated?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Robert, you're okay to second? Bill? Okay, thank you. Any business arising from those minutes? Seeing none. I will now read the statement of precedent. Any decision reached by this committee tonight cannot be used to set a precedent. So we'll move on to item 4.1, which is an application for a minor variance, file number A17-2022 by Marvin Sittler, 5120 line 84, lot 67, 44R112, North Perth, Listowel, Ontario. And I will now call on the planner to present the planning report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. You're able to hear me fine?
Yes.
All right, I will share my screen and show you a few slides of this property. So you're able to see my slides now?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so this is the location of Marvin Sittler's property. It's east and a bit south of Listowel. And the address is 5120 line 84, part lot 67, concession 1 of the Elma ward. And this is an air photo showing the Sittler property. So it is designated agricultural in the official plan and zoned agricultural. And you can see by the outline on the air photo that it's an existing undersized farm parcel. So the area of this property is approximately 5.5 acres. And what Marvin Sittler would like to do is to construct a new farm repair shop at the back of the property, so just about here. And he has asked for a variance from the North Perth zoning bylaw to allow the construction of that shed with a 3-meter rear yard setback, where the agricultural zone requires a 18-meter rear yard setback. So here is the sketch that we received with the application. This was a greenhouse that's no longer on the property here. And the yellow line is the outline of the proposed location of the Sittler shop, which again is proposed to be a farm repair shop. And the only person who is proposed to be working there is Marvin Sittler. He's not proposing to have any employees. So you can see that the entrance to this property will share the entrance with the existing residence. And just a few pictures of the property. So this is standing on line 84, looking north at the subject property. So the house is here, and this is the existing shop, and then the new shop would be built here. And now closer to, that's the existing building, so the new shop would be built beside it to the east. And this is looking at the shop, so the existing shop. So the new shop would be built here between where I'm standing and this existing building, and the reduced rear yard setback would be in this direction, which is to the north. So again, the reduced rear yard setback would be moving closer to this established row of trees. So I'll just stop sharing those slides. So the planning report reviews the 4 tests of a minor variance, which are outlined in the Planning Act. Those 4 tests are: does the application conform with the official plan? Does it conform with it, or does it maintain the general intent and purpose of the official plan? Does it maintain the general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw? Is it possible to consider that the application is minor, and is it considered good planning for the subject property? So I won't review the detail that is outlined in the planning report. There is direction in the Perth County official plan that allows the consideration of secondary farm occupations. And there is a provision in those policies that allow the consideration of a secondary farm occupation on an existing non-farm residential property in the agricultural designation. And then there are a number of requirements, including a shared driveway and the size of the secondary farm occupation, so the gross floor area. And that it includes the requirement that the maximum secondary farm occupation does not exceed 375 square meters. And in Imperial, that's 4,036 square feet. So there is an existing, as I showed you in the photo, there is an existing shop on the property, and that existing building is about 127 square feet. That's an air photo measurement that I took, which is about 1,370 square feet. So adding the 2 buildings together looks like it would exceed the 375 square meters. So that's one question that I have for the applicant. Then moving on to the zoning review, there is a definition in the zoning bylaw or provisions in section 5, which outlines a number of requirements for a secondary farm occupation in a agricultural zone. The definition of a secondary farm occupation allows the consideration of such business accessory to a farm or a residential use within an agricultural zone. So with regards to the use, the zoning bylaw provides support for this business to be accessory to the Sittler residence. Then there is also a requirement in the general provisions, section 526A, that a secondary farm occupation be located within 45 meters of the main building. And in my review of the air photo, it appears that the proposed accessory building is approximately 72 meters from the house. So I've pointed that out to the applicant, and I understand he will be submitting another request for a variance from that requirement in the zoning bylaw as well. And then with regards to the application itself to reduce the rear yard setback, in our review of that request, as I pointed out in the air photo, there is, I'll just share the air photo again if you don't mind. If I could do that. There is, there is a row of trees behind this property, and then on the other side of the Sittler property, there is agricultural land that's being cropped. So and that is the only yard reduction in a setback required for this application. So in our review, we are supportive of that reduced rear yard setback. We are satisfied that this is a reasonable use of the subject property, and it's appropriate for the Sittler non-farm lot. And there were also, with regards to the question of is the application considered minor, I note that there is a section in the general provisions of the zoning bylaw that allows or that provides for a setback of 3 meters for an agricultural zone of less than 1 hectare. So while this property is greater than 1 hectare, it's acting like a undersized farm lot and is being used for residential purposes. So it's in the planning department's review, we're able to come to the conclusion that the reduction is minor in nature. So you can see that the recommendation from the planning department to the committee of the adjustment is that we circle back to the applicant and ask him to submit a second variance for the reduced setback from the accessory building to the main building, which is the residence on this property. And then secondly, confirm that the total building area that will be used for the secondary farm occupation conforms with both the official plan and the zoning bylaw with a maximum area of 375 square meters. So those are the planning department's comments, and I'm available for any questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anyone present remotely who wishes to make a presentation or speak in opposition of this application? Hearing none, is there anyone present who wishes to make a presentation or speak in support of the application? And okay, nothing heard, and I don't think the applicant is with us remotely this evening, so there'll be no comments there. Okay, now are there any questions from the committee members?
So, Mr. Chair, I wouldn't mind just adding, provided that the applicant does request a second variance, we will, staff will recirculate this application. So there'll be a second notice of required in order to ensure that the circulation of the notice conforms with the Planning Act requirements.
So
and then we will bring it back to the July meeting.
So that'll be circulated to all the people within the required distance.
That's right.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
I just want to have a question for Susanna, just a point of clarity. Susanna, what you mentioned the dwelling is the main building. Where is that defined on an agricultural parcel? Is the dwelling the main building, or is a barn the main building?
A permitted use in the agricultural zone can be an existing dwelling. So on this property, there is an agricultural use. Marvin Sittler is renting out the cropland. However, because the property is undersized, that's not considered the primary use on the property. Primary use on this property is for an existing non-farm lot. Has support through the official plan to recognize a residence as the primary use, and the zoning bylaw in the agricultural zone allows the consideration of existing dwelling also as the permitted use.
But my question is the dwelling the main building,
Yes,
main use?
it is the primary use of this property is for residential purposes.
Okay. Any questions?
Go ahead, Bill.
No, go ahead, Bob. That was
Okay. Go
Mr.
ahead,
Chair, it's
Robert.
Bob speaking. I had one question for the planner. Since we're entertaining a second variance application, would it be prudent to have the applicant amend his application to deal with all of your concerns under one variance?
What are you suggesting?
With your concerns, allow the applicant time to amend his current application to address all your concerns.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, that is the intention. So the planning department is recommending deferral at this time. So what we're suggesting is that the committee not consider approving this application right now. I wanted to let you know that the planning department is supportive, is recommending that this application be approved for the reduced rear yard setback, but that not be considered tonight in order for the applicant to respond to the additional questions. So yes, thank you very much for the question.
Okay. Any other questions? Go ahead.
Are you speaking to me?
Uh,
I just wanted to make sure I was clear on the recommendation of deferral.
Yes, I think that clarifies it. Okay, is the committee ready for any other comments or ready for a motion
I'd be willing to motion.
that we defer?
I agree. I wholeheartedly support the recommendation from the, sorry, stumbling over words today. The planning department. I wholeheartedly agree with the plan.
Thanks, Bill. Do we
I'll
have-
second the motion for deferral, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Robert. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Thank you very much, everyone. I think that includes everything in our new business. Okay, we have other business.
We do, Chair. Tonight we are entertaining a motion. We need a motion to appoint Sarah Jameson as a Secretary Treasurer, which she will be taking over my role. I will be stepping down from that role. So we need a motion to approve Sarah, and we need somebody to second that as well.
Okay.
I'll make that second.
Okay, thanks, Robert. Thanks, Bill. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. And we have the second one,
The second
motion.
item on other business is to appoint Lindsay Klein, our municipality's clerk, as acting Secretary Treasurer. We felt it would be prudent to have a backup just in case Sarah was absent, so we could have somebody to run the meeting. So we need a motion to appoint Lindsay as acting Secretary Treasurer.
I'll motion.
Okay, thanks,
I'll
Bill.
make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Phil
Thank
made
you.
the motion. Robert, you second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Thank you. Any correspondence, Ed?
No correspondence tonight.
No correspondence? Okay. We need a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion.
Seconder?
I'll second Bill's motion.
Okay. So, motion by Bill, second by Robert, that we adjourn at 7:20 PM. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Have a great weekend.
You too,
Yes.
Robert. Thank you.
Happy Canada Day.